Dogs.com. Got the Puck Dogs with me here for halftime of the Iron Bowl. What a game we have. I'll tell you, all these afternoon games pretty good except for the Baylor game where they're absolutely shellacking Kansas. Not a big surprise there, but yeah, it's this one 31-27, 58 points. Hardly the defensive struggle. Alabama, two big touchdowns by Waddle, long touchdowns. In Auburn, the defensive touchdown, Gus Malzahn, 18-0 when his defense scores a touchdown. So pretty exciting stuff. Got the Flyers and Canadians knotted at 3 apiece. The Rangers bombing the Devils 4-0. Lundqvist get the win there?
No, backup got the win.
Okay.
That's why they won the game.
Lundqvist wasn't in there.
Let's see what we got. But anyways, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Let's take a quick look at the scores. But like I said, Minnesota and Wisconsin, 10-7. That game has already resumed. Alabama, 31-27. I hit the basketball scoreboard by accident, but let me just get the lines up. Maybe that'll help us. See if we can right the ship here. And let's see what we got going on. No YouTube notifications. Let's see. But I said like 5 times I was going to go live at this halftime. Baylor minus 4.5, but that's minus 160. So let's see what it takes to get into reasonable here on the Baylor. Baylor minus 7 is minus 115. I like Baylor there, just slaughtering Kansas in this game. I also like Auburn is plus 1.5 for the second half, plus 120. Guys, any thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah, is there a second half total so far?
Yeah, the second half total is 26.5.
I can see that going over.
What about the side?
Yeah, I'll stick with Auburn. I think because Auburn needs to cover that for me to get the Auburn plus 3 or plus 4 from earlier today. So,
how about you, Rod? What are you thinking here in this one?
For me, I'm already on Bama, so I'll take Bama second half minus 1.5, and I like the over as well. 26 points. Seems pretty low.
For me, I'm gonna go with Auburn. I like the over as well. Just it seems like both these defenses have just kind of stopped, or you could say the offenses have maybe figured something out where the gaps are. It looked like right there before the half that the clock had expired. They put time back on the clock, and Auburn was able to kick a field goal. If that comes back and is the difference, it's going to be very controversial Iron Bowl here, especially if Alabama loses. But some other interesting results too, going on out here when we look at the scoreboard. Notre Dame looked pretty flat, at least in the early going against Stanford. Really, I think we all like the Irish today, and it's 17-14 Stanford with 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Oregon all over Oregon State. That game has gone to the half. Penn State 13-3 over Rutgers. Kind of a sluggish effort halfway through the third quarter. Baylor 34-0. Wisconsin 10-7 over the Gophers. And I think that in that game the surprising thing is Wisconsin really has just looked like the better team for the bulk of the game. I think Minnesota's had some chances, but they're really, when Wisconsin needs to get a few yards, they just punch the ball right at them. And the snow is coming down harder and harder there. And you can see the Wisconsin offensive line kind of leaning into it.
Yeah. I think I'm just most surprised by that Stanford score. I mean, I had Stanford with the point, but I didn't think they were going to stifle Notre Dame like they have so far in the first half.
Yeah, we've kind of. I think that's one of the more surprising games. I think that, and also all the offense that we're seeing here in this one, in this
Yeah.
Alabama Auburn game. Chris, on the earlier halftime show, Rod added some hockey games. Did you have any hockey additions that you had for everybody out there?
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay in regulation. Carolina's just 1-10 in the last 11 meetings in Tampa Bay, and they've only won 6 of the last 26 head to head. Just going through my list here. I also like Edmonton in regulation at minus 120. I also did a college football four game money line parlay for this evening. Did Army money line, Kansas State money line, Oklahoma State money line, and San Diego State money line at plus 1526.
I like Iowa State a lot in that game against Kansas State.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I just went because I saw Iowa State 1-13 straight up in the last 14 at Kansas State. So
Got another Wisconsin touchdown here in the snow. Passing play, 46-yarder. Just finding a crease here. It looks like Minnesota's kind of wilting here in the snow, which is a little surprising. Meanwhile, UNLV just belting Nevada in this game, 24-13. They were getting a bundle there, and UConn was leading Temple, but now Temple has rallied the troops. Florida Atlantic over Southern Miss. You got a delay in the Louisiana Tech UTSA matchup, and Pittsburgh Boston College and Miami and Duke in wars. 14-13 Miami, 16-13 Pitt in a game that Boston College led 13-0 early. So Pitt kind of bouncing back there, and just as I say that, A.J. Dillon runs 61 yards for a touchdown. So there it is, Boston College back on top.
the curse of the commentary.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's not. I don't think it's cursed. It's just we didn't really emphasize that game.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look at my sheet of premium picks, there's always 2 or 3 picks that I write down as my premium picks that I don't put in as premium picks.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what the 2 were. One was Boston College, and the other one was Tennessee. Tennessee up by 18 over Vandy midway through the second quarter. Meanwhile, I put Minnesota. I took away Tennessee. I added Minnesota, and not working out too well. But of course, we got Baylor in there as well. See if we have any more halftime lines here. There's got to be a line on that Oregon game. That one, of course, reserved for people that have the Pac-12 network. Yeah, I know a lot of people. They still haven't found. They still haven't found me. I know there's hundreds of thousands of people out there that haven't found me. So they will. I just keep doing the videos. We just keep doing what we do, and they will find us. Baylor still minus 4.5, but it's really a touchdown. Auburn plus 1.5. Tulane minus 1. SMU plus 1 for second half. That line's just come up. SMU 21-10 in that one over Tulane. We all had SMU in that game. Except Chris, I think, had Tulane.
Yeah.
UAB minus 1 over North Texas. UAB up 17-14 there. And Oregon minus 7.5. They had the big kickoff return for the touchdown. So any thoughts on any of those guys? Or Oregon or UAB, North Texas, or Tulane, SMU?
I like UAB second half.
Chris, anything?
Yeah, I still like Oregon State.
Plus the points. Yeah, I mean, if you look at that score, it's 14, but 7 of it was a kickoff return. I always think that those type of plays, you kind of could throw them out. Miami and Duke in the second half now. The game is kicked off. We still have a lot of games later on. Tonight, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. UCLA and Cal, Georgia State and Georgia Southern. Two schools often confused for one another. It's like, I thought you meant Georgia Southern. I thought you meant Georgia State. You got Navy Houston, the game that nobody asked about. Nobody asked about on any show, Navy Houston. Utah, Colorado. Any thoughts on any more of these games? I'm still on Auburn for this one for me.
Yeah, I still like Navy for later tonight. I like Navy laying the -9.
All right, well, I think we're pretty good on this now. You know, we just don't have a lot more to work with, and that's how these halftime shows generally work. Thought having the Puck Dogs here, maybe they would have some more games for us or something, but oh well, it was worth a shot. I'll be back tonight for the halftime of the Bedlam Series game, Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Enjoy the second half of the Iron Bowl. As Minnesota says, we're going to keep rowing the boat as they catch a ball at about the 45-yard line as the snow comes down at TCF Bank Stadium. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you guys later on tonight. Oh, shoot.